Okay, so I got my test subject here, the car we're gonna wash. It's this blue Tesla Model 3. This car's in here for a lot of work. So we're gonna do a full paint correction on this, full paint protection film install, CQuartz finest. But it all starts with a wash. So I figured we would use this one to demo the washing on it. This car was driven from about an hour and a half away to here. So it's pretty dirty. Like you can actually see there's quite a buildup on it, and not that I would normally ever recommend this, but I'm about to correct the car, so it's okay. But you can see me wiping all the dirt on this car, and then like you can look down here and see how much dirt is all on the rocker panels and on the sides. And I know sometimes it's hard to detect this on video unless the car's covered in mud, but in my opinion, this car is a very dirty car. So I'm going to start with my Echo first, and we're going to do these two doors. Bucket that has Echo in it right here. I've left my mitt soaking in the solution for a little bit, so it's absorbed quite a bit of that. That'll help a lot when removing dirt. It's right. This car is right on the verge of where I think you should rinse it off. If I had the car outside, obviously it's not a good idea to use a pressure washer inside the shop. If I had the car outside, I would rinse off these rocker panels, but that's okay for all intents and video purposes. We'll just do it this way. So the first thing I want to do is I want to take my pump sprayer, and I'm going to mist the panel. Then I'm going to take my mitt, and I'm going to go over the panel, and this is the most important part about not swirling up a car is anytime you touch it, whether it be with that or a drying towel, is your first pass. You want to use no pressure whatsoever. You will pick up the majority of the contaminants on your first pass with no pressure, and then you can go back with a little more pressure to get any residual. First pass, I'm going to use very little pressure. Because and this car doesn't have a ceramic coating on it, it doesn't have a wrap on it, so I'm going to expect it to release dirt not nearly as well as a car that we completed is, but that's okay. You can still use the same method washing like your cars that don't have any of this stuff on there, and it'll work great and save you time. So I'm going to take my mitt. I'm just going to make a solid pass with just the weight of the mitt. Flip my mitt over. I'm going to go one more time and be really careful on the bottom parts of the car because that's where they pick up the most dirt. And then I'm going to go into my bucket. You can see I picked up some contaminants there, so I'm going to go into my bucket. I'm going to go over this. Bring it out a little bit because I don't need that much solution on the second pass. And I'm going to put a little more pressure into this and go over this again. Now notice I'm staying above this line because I know that down here, this is really, really, really dirty. And normally I would want to save this for the last part of the car because one, I'm going to pick up a lot of stuff on my mitt, and two, it's going to dirty up my wash bucket. So I probably don't want to do this until the last thing I do is like the bottom half of the car and usually the rear end. And also the bottom of the front bumper too, because that's where you pick up the most dirt. But for all intents and purposes, since we're just doing a demo video here, I'm actually going to clean this right now. And again, I'm using Car Pro Echo, so for something like this, I can still see there's quite a bit of dirt there. I'm going to get my pump sprayer back over here. And I'm going to mist this all down again. Ideally, you would just hose something this dirty off. And down here, I'm going to be really careful, like no pressure whatsoever. So I'm just trying to get all the surface stuff off the top right here. And you can see how much stuff I picked up on my mitt. So I'm going to go scrub that off with my grit guard there. And then I'm going to grab the bottom of this. You can see lots of stuff down there. Ugh. As a testament to the effectiveness of grit guards, it got the majority of it off. And down here again, I'm still not going to go back at this with full pressure. I'm actually just going to kind of barely use a little more weight than the mitt. Because I believe that first pass probably did not get all of it. Which I was right, you can still see there, I picked up quite a bit. Yellow towels from Costco. They're extremely cost efficient. While I believe that mitt is the cheapest, most effective car wash mitt you can buy, I still would rather use one of these and throw it away than use my mitt on the bottom of that rocker panel. So a lot of times what I do is before I start my wash, if the car is going to be a little dirty or it's like a car with some miles on it, you just went on a big road trip, I take one of these towels and whatever wash solution I'm using, I just throw the towel in there and start letting it soak. So Now I have one of these yellow towels soaking in there. That way I don't have to use my mitt on all that grimy stuff, because you saw that was doing and how careful I had to be. Well, with the Costco towel, you can still be careful with it, flip it over, use it a couple times, and they're so inexpensive that it really doesn't make me feel bad to just throw it away after that. You could use it on wheels, use it on like your fender liners, because it drives me crazy when a car's all nice and clean, and you look between the wheel wells and you see this. Like, you see this dirty in here? Costco towels are so perfect for that. You just get in there and scrub all that out with a Costco towel and your rinseless wash fluid. Now I'm going to dry the door off, and we're going to literally get a side-by-side of the two products, right? Because, like I said, Pro Echo does add some slickness and some shine that you don't really get with No Rinse. I believe No Rinse has a product that's No Rinse Wash and Wax that does add some, have similar characteristics, but we usually just use this one because a lot of times we're prepping cars with it and claying them, so we don't want the waxes or any surfactants left behind on before we do a polish and a ceramic coating or film. So I got a Pro Waverider Towel. You can see this towel has some miles on it. And in my opinion, these are the best drying towels I've ever used in my life, and they last the longest. In my shop environment, I still have some of these from like 2014 that still absorb water. These are really incredible towels. Like the guys at Microfiber Madness, I don't know what kind of voodoo they put in these, but they're awesome. Like I absolutely love these things. So again, now I am drying the car off. If you did a really good job at this at washing it, you won't pick up any dirt on your towel. If you did pick up dirt on your towel, you can tell areas where you should try harder to wash it. But again, you're not cleaning the car with this towel. You're just picking up water. That's all you're doing. So you don't want to be like scrubbing, or if you missed a spot, or if you find something you want to go back over. That is not what this towel is for. And as you see, I wiped this off and there's nothing on the towel. So let's see how I did on the rocker panel. Of course I did a great job. Yeah, I'm just kidding. I was actually worried there was going to be dirt all over this. And there's a little bit, right? But I should have rinsed that panel off before I washed it. But here you go. So there is a clean panel that was done with Pro Echo. Now I'm going to do the panel next to it. Okay, now I'm going to switch over to using Optima No Rinse. See, it's got a much more watery look than Echo does. So I have my pump sprayer here. Again, same process. I'm just going to pump up my pump sprayer before I spray it. So now I've misted the panel down. Same process. I'm just going to take my mitt and just with the weight of the mitt go over the panel. Again, using no pressure. I just want to pick up the bulk of the dirt. I'm going a little bit faster on this side of the car because most of the dirt was going to be up there. Back here it's not going to be as bad, so you can pick up the speed a little bit. I flip my mitt over. I'm going to go back over one more time with the weight of my hand. And I'm doing this as fast as I normally would. And I've washed thousands upon thousands of cars that I corrected, so I really never want to swirl up a car that I just did all the work on, because it happens so easy. You'll just be like, oh my god, I just swirled up this car that I spent 20 hours correcting. So what I found is this method is the safest I've found to not putting swirl marks in paint. And that being said, it's hard to keep a car absolutely perfect if you drive it, but the biggest way you mess it up is by washing it improperly. And again, like, you know, I'm sure everyone has their own opinion, 2 buckets, this and that, but this has been the method I found that works the best for me. And in my opinion, tried and true over the years. Black cars, white cars, yellow cars, whatever color cars, this has kept cars swirl free. And my customers who wash their cars this way, I see them years later, and I'm always high-fiving them because their cars look great. They're basically don't have a mark on them. I don't see wash marring on them. I don't see dry marring on them. And the cars are still shining bright and new like they're supposed to. So now I'm at the bottom of the car again. There's, again, a lot of dirt down here. So I'm going to be really careful again because, as we just determined up there, there's tons of dirt in this area. Yeah, so not as much towards the back as there's towards the front, but I'm sure if we went behind this rear wheel over here, we'd find the same thing. So I'm going to rub that off with my grit guard. Again, grit guard works great. And then, no pressure, get the mitt. Bottom. So you can see, again. Now I'm going to go back just the way to the mitt. Again, back to my Waverider. And just a reminder, I am only picking up water with this towel. I'm not cleaning with it. If there's any dirt left on the car, it's because I missed a spot. I'm not really trying to clean the dirt off the car. So I just noticed this when I went over onto this panel. And this is always the difference I see between Echo and Echo 2 and Optima No Rents. Like, this panel feels grabby, and this one feels slick. Like, it's literally instant that you can feel the difference between the two panels. And I know this is going to be really hard to tell on camera, especially in this lighting, but the panel we did Echo with has a little bit of a deeper shine to it. So I'm not sure exactly what's being left behind there. I wouldn't even go as far as calling it a protectant, but it is leaving something on the paint that's making it shinier. And it works really well with the coatings that we use, right? So we do a ton of CQuartz Finest installs, and we also do a lot of Opti-Coat Pro Plus installs. But and whichever coating you have, I would recommend staying in the family. But if you're just using this on a car that doesn't have either of those products on it, I think Echo 2 would be a better choice, just because you're getting this little bit of extra gloss and a little slickness that people seem to like. And I literally can feel it. It's instant. Like, it's, yeah, so much less resistant. So I'm guessing that would equate to dirt repelling. I don't know how long it lasts, because it's a rinseless wash, but that's the big difference between the two. As far as cleaning power, I think they're both very similar. As far as not swirling up a car, I've never put a swirl mark in the paint with either one of them. Well, at least, not that I know about. But generally speaking, they're both very safe choices to wash in a car. And again, a car that was this dirty, ideally you would rinse off at least the bottoms of it. If it was as dirty as the bottoms on the rest of the car, you'd rinse the whole car off. So just a little breakdown again. You know, we start with our pump sprayer. Our pump sprayers are going to sit for a while because, as you can see, I barely use any of that doing a panel. If I was doing a whole car, I wouldn't even use an eighth of this, 2 gallons. Again, that one's a little bit overfilled, but you get the idea. And inside our pump sprayer, we want to make our solution a little bit stronger because that's what we're using to polymerize dirt. In our bucket, we're making it weaker because that's we're just using it to make sure we have lubricant when we're gliding our mitt across the surface. And then again, Waverider towels, awesome. And just remember, with your drying towel or with your wash mitt, first pass, no pressure whatsoever. And when you're drying the car, really important, make sure you know you're just picking up water. If you miss the spot, go back and soak it with Echo or O&R, whatever you're using, and use like a soft microfiber or your wash mitt and go back over it. And another thing I just want to say is, because I see this happen a lot, and this is with my customers, is that, you know, you go through all the trouble of having your car corrected, and you go through the trouble of getting all this stuff done to your car, and you really want to take care of it. And, you know, all the stuff we do to cars, the ceramic coatings, paint protection film, it makes this easier. It's to make your life easier to maintain the car. I will say the easiest way to scratch a car up again is washing it properly. So even if you're taking it to like a commercial hand wash, or if you're letting someone else do it, there's a high probability they're going to put swirl marks in your paint. But if you're doing it yourself and you use these methods, it shouldn't take you that long. So a lot of people really overthink this and they get scared, and I find them washing like one small section of the car at a time. And that's okay the first couple times. But after that, kind of look at the car. You can kind of tell where if you put a mark in it, pay attention to where it is. Because the good thing about a wash bar, it's really easy to fix after all this stuff is done. Like, so if it really drives you crazy and you want it fixed, just come talk to us. We'll get you taken care of. Or talk to your detailer, whoever you use. Thanks for watching. I'm Joe with OCDetailing. Please subscribe for more videos.